Good morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Friday. Best day of the week. I got this fortune cookie. It says, an unexpected event will bring you riches. I like that. So I kept it. It's staying on my desk right here. An unexpected event will bring you riches. I like it. So we'll see. Yeah, Genuine, thank you for pointing that out. I try my best to stop it, but it's just, always going to happen. Let me go ahead and kick them if it's still there. So I've kicked a bunch of people pretending to be that that's in the free chat, right? Yeah, guys, don't ever. I've said this multiple times. So when you have a free Discord, just to let everyone know. So like the chart Discord that I have, which is just the technical analysis. When you have a free Discord like that, there's always going to be nonsense. That's why free Discords don't work. So that's why people charge for them, because they're just hard to, moderate, because anyone can join it and you don't know who anyone is. So yeah, if you guys ever get messages from someone with the name DesiTrade on Discord, it is not me. It is not me on Instagram. It is not me on Twitter. It is not me on YouTube. It is not me anywhere. Besides, if you message me first and I message back, then that's maybe me. But I will never message you first. Please do not get scammed. There's a lot of scammers out there. It's very sad, but that is the world we live in. All right, so welcome back. Hope everyone's having a good. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Hope everyone had a good Thursday. It was a pretty nice Thursday. Some nice setups on a few different charts. Some nice retest setups that happened out there, and we can look at what we should watch today. Some immediate news. AMD guided down, so you guys are seeing AMD to the downside this morning. That's probably going to bring the rest of the semiconductors down as well. So AMD guide down on revenue, just sort of a warning for their next earnings. It's not earnings, it's just a warning. So they're just getting it out early. So that's why you're seeing AMD to the downside and probably some other chip stocks as well. You got jobs data this morning. You got the unemployment rate. Let's pull it up real quick. Unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, average hourly earnings. That's going to come out at 8:30, so in about 27 minutes. We'll see what the live reaction of that is. We've seen most of the jobs data come out pretty bullish as of late. So we'll see if there's any change in reaction there. Almost on the initial jobless claims, we saw some upside. And then on Wednesday, on the ADP employment report, we saw some upside. So we've seen upside, and also on job openings, job quits. So we've seen upside on those job reports as of this week. So now we have to see what comes out today, right? We have non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings. We'll see how that sort of responds today. What else? That's probably about it. AMD guided down. That's the news, the economic news. I don't think there's anything too more that's urgent. Just technicals then, and just look at some charts that I'm watching. So let's get started. So today's the 7th. I'll go ahead and pull this up real quick just so you guys to see it. Here it is. Today, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, hourly earnings, labor force participation. You got some Fed presidents speaking as well. So we'll see how the reaction is here at 8:30. Okay. Earnings calendar. I don't think we got much on the earnings calendar this week. Let's see what next week looks like, actually. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Next week, I'm going to pull up the entire month. 1 second. All right, there it is. So next week, PepsiCo, nothing crazy. Domino's, City. Okay, so next Friday is when we start to get a little bit of important stuff, right? We get J.P. Morgan, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, UNH, Bancorp, PNC. So you get some banks there next Friday. After next Friday, you get a little bit more Netflix, J&J. You get into some, more banks, Goldman. So nothing crazy yet. No big tech names as of yet. But you're starting to get some, I would say after the 14th is when things get a little bit heavier on the earnings side. Okay? So just keep an eye on that. Tesla, 241.50. We'll take a look at this level. This is a big level for Tesla. It's been continuing to reject at this level, so I think this is a big watch. AMD guide down. We'll go ahead and take a look at AMD as well as NVIDIA. Amazon, 20 and 100 SMA. It's battling right now. I want to show you this channel. Costco, I like the potential of a bear flag here on Costco if the market does see weakness. So we'll see what the market does today. If the market sees weakness, I do like this Costco setup. I want to show you that. Enphase, you guys probably saw my video yesterday, but I want to go over the potential for more downside. I think there could be more downside here. So I think this is still a watch even today for me to be watching Enphase as well. So Enphase as well. We'll do some sector analysis. I'll throw in some more charts there as well. We should have some time. Maybe we'll throw in Google. We'll throw in Apple. We'll throw in some of the big names, Microsoft. And then we will go over the tickers that you guys want to look at. If you want to submit a ticker, you can see it's right below on the schedule. You press the join button down below. You have to become a member of the channel, and then you go to the community tab where you will have the link. Okay? That is a Google Docs that only the members of the channel have. So if anyone's name is green in the chat, they are members of the channel, and that means they have access to it. All right, let's get started. So today, NASDAQ. We'll try to do as much as we can before 8:30. We'll get the economic data to come out, and then we will sort of relook at things after that data comes out. Here's the hourly chart on the NASDAQ. So we were looking at a potential push yesterday into like around this 11,780, 11,800. But you can see we didn't quite get there. We rejected here at that 20 SMA. So this 20 SMA, this blue dashed line on your screen, this is a daily SMA. So every day that the market trades, this is where the 20 SMA is on the daily chart. And you can see that 20 SMA has continued to decline, meaning we're in a short-term downtrend, right? 20 SMA is a shorter-term SMA. You can see in the short term, it is moving lower. It's in a downtrend. So it's going to act as rejection points, and you can see that it rejected right there yesterday, Wednesday into Thursday. We pushed into it, we rejected it, we tried again, we rejected it, and there's your downside. So 20 SMA, I think, should be on watch. The daily 20 SMA should be on watch. We have the previous channel high here, which is around this 11,560, 11,550 area. You can see previous support into rejection, and then we're getting a little bit choppy over here, right? It's not quite as clean as we start to approach this channel high. So what's going on here is a little bit interesting. It's not as clean as I would like, right? I'd rather see it clearly reject or clearly turn it into support. The only area that I see it making some type of sense as of right now is right here. So you guys can see yesterday you had a little triple bottom at the channel low, right? Or at the previous channel high. You can see we tried to hold on to that channel high. This green area was the previous channel high. You found support, you found support, you found support. This was yesterday on the NASDAQ. You can see this morning in the pre-market, I can start to see this turning into a rejection point, right? Look at the flip that happened here this morning. So this is really in the short term. The one thing that I'm starting to see here on the NASDAQ in the short term is this little flip that may be occurring right now. This little flip from support into resistance. So watch out for that today. If the NASDAQ cannot get back over this 530, 550, this area here, then we might start to see that weakness creep in. You can see the NASDAQ is now trading back below the previous rejection points. So you rejected here, and you're trading back below it once again. So if that turns into a rejection again, then I would say weakness, right? If we cannot regain this channel high, if we turn it into a rejection again, then I would say weakness should set in. So I would watch this 530, 560 area. It's not a perfect level. It's a little bit of a zone. So you just sort of have to watch this zone here and see how we react to it. So that's my first watch here today. How do we react to this area right here, the previous channel high? Do we turn it into a rejection again? Or are we able to get back above it, turn it into support, and try to build off of it? That's really my main watch today. If we get downside, right, I think you can still potentially see a retest of this 350, right back down to here. If we come back down to retest that, then that's your big watch. Because if we do not hold this, right, if we do not hold this and try to hold this 350 level and try to bounce off this previous low, right, that is a lower low, and that is not something that the market is gonna like. So if you created a low here from a previous rejection point, if you create a new low, let's say the market trades back down to here, that is going to be bearish because you are breaking a previous low. You're making a lower low. So if you want to be bullish, right, if you want the bull case, you cannot break this 350 level. You cannot break this level that we previously bounced off of on Wednesday. You break that, you're making lower lows. No good, right? Momentum's lost to the upside. Bulls are out of it. They're going to lose if we break this 350 zone here. If you come back down to it, let's say you bounce again and you really do find a retest here, then maybe there's an opportunity to the upside. So just because we drop to the 350 level does not mean, right, if you come down here and you start trading here, right, there is still a very high possibility of this holding. If you're opening short positions before we lose this level, you are opening yourself up to getting stuck in a demand bounce. Right, so I would, maybe there's some short opportunities today into that 350 level, right? Maybe there's a short opportunity into 350. Would I be opening new shorts at this level? Probably not. If I wanted to open new shorts, I would wait for the break. I would wait for the retest at 350. I'd let it show me a rejection, and then I'd play the downside. So you don't want to be opening shorts at that potential bounce area, which we did previously. Right in this, you can probably call it like right there, 350 to 360. So you can potentially play it down to the 360 today, but I would not be opening new shorts at this level because there is a potential for that to try to bounce off that once again. So these are my levels today: 11,350, this 11,550 zone here, and then to the upside 20 SMA and 11,8. So there's really my main watch. You're sitting right in the middle of it today. So let's see what the jobs data does. The ES is a little bit cleaner than the NASDAQ, and here's why. Look how clean this looks, guys. You can see we can even delete this for now just to make a little bit more sense of it. Look at what's going on right here. All right, this is a very clear chart. This is a very clean chart on the ES. This is something you should like to see because it makes a lot of sense. What is going on the S&P 500? You have a previous rejection point that is turning into a potential double bottom, right? Does this level hold? This is it. I mean, this is everything today. There's not a single more important level to watch today than 37.35 on the ES. I mean, there's just not. If you do not hold this level and you break below it, then you obviously know what's going to happen. All right, that is a flush point. If you break this double bottom that has formed, this is pre-market today. This is Wednesday's lows. There's not a more important level, in my opinion, than 37.35 here today. So if you do not hold this level, this double bottom, you're definitely moving lower. If you do hold it, right, is there a potential for another demand bounce off this level? Absolutely. Right? Just because we pulled back yesterday, just because we pulled back 2% yesterday from the highs does not mean that we can't hold this demand level. So, opening new shorts here, here's your risk to reward on new shorts, right? If you're opening shorts here, here's your risk to reward. Here's your risk. There's your reward, and here's your risk, right? That is an inverse risk to reward. Now, you can hope and pray that it breaks the lows, right? You can do that. I don't do that, but you can. This is your risk to reward shorting here, right? Who wants to take this? You could risk to the highs and you can put a reward at the demand. I think that's inverse. I don't think that's how you should trade, right? This is probably why you're finding some bounce off this level because I don't think there's a lot of shorts that are going to short into this potential hold at 37.35. The risk to reward just not there. That doesn't mean it does. That doesn't mean it holds. I'm just saying, the potential when you look at a trade, that's the sort of the trade risk to reward. That doesn't mean it holds, but if it does, right, your risk to reward is actually better to the upside here off this potential demand hold. Obviously, jobs data is going to affect how this moves, right? If the market doesn't like the jobs data in 14 minutes, then we're going to flush that level, and then we're going to get some pretty easy downside today. So you flush this level. If you break and retest, now what's your risk, right? Look at how this flips. Here's your risk now, and here's your reward, right? Maybe even down to the lows, right? This is how the break and retest sets you up. If you just have a little bit of patience and you wait for the break to actually occur, this is how the break and retest can improve your risk to reward. Now, if you get the break, you get the confirmation of the break, you wait for it to pull back, you have some patience. Once it starts to reject, you set your trade up, risk is back over the retest level, and your reward is as low as you want to take it. So just a little bit of patience, and a short entry can be there, but would I be the one shorting into a demand? No. So watch this 37.35 on ES, very important today. If you can hold it there, maybe there's a push to the upside again. Just watch out for upside here into the 20 SMA, 3800, 3820. Okay? Dow. So the Dow, this might be, if there's market weakness today, this could be the setup of a break and retest to the downside right now. So why do I say that? So you can see previous demand here, or previous rejections here. We haven't quite gotten back to that level on the Dow, right? It's still sort of maintaining above this level. I would ultimately rather see it here and bounce off of there than just bounce off of a no man's land here. You can see we're just sort of bouncing in the middle of nowhere. So if you can reject this 30,100, that's the previous lows here. Let's say you break it, right? You retest it, and you start to reject this level here. Maybe there's a short setup, right? I would watch that. If you reject this 30,100, that's the previous lows here. If you can regain that level, then maybe there's some more upside. But again, here's why I don't like the Dow here. I don't like where it's holding. It's very choppy here. Like, it's not really respecting a level that I like. So when I see that, I get a little unattracted from playing that, right? If I look at the ES, this makes a whole lot more sense to me. All right, the ES is making a lot of sense today. The ES came back down to 37.35 originally, bounced off of it. Pulled back once again to 37.35, is bouncing off of it today. So I know I have that level that it's trying to bounce off of. On the Dow, it's just bouncing off of really nothing here. I mean, it may be this wick high, but nothing major. I would rather see the Dow be bouncing off of this low, right? This would make more sense to me if it was coming down to this channel high and bouncing off that low. So it's a little bit tricky there on the Dow, in my opinion. And then on the NASDAQ, you can see the NASDAQ's not really pulling back to anywhere either. The NASDAQ is holding in pretty much no man's land here. It's just in a choppy area. So interesting. I think the ES is making the most sense today, and I think the ES is the one to be watching. I think the ES is most important right here today. Russell, the Russell is sort of just trying to maintain this little area that it's attempting to hold, maybe around 1750 in this general area. So just watch out for that high. You can potentially, you have that double top right there. Watch out for that high around that 1780 on the Russell. All right, guys. So most important to me, guys, today is the 37.35 on the ES. That's probably going to be the main thing I watch. The main thing I try to trade off of today is, does 37.35 hold on the ES? That's really, I think, the main thing to be watching. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let's get a little bit more in before the jobless claims, or not jobless claims, non-farm payrolls. So here we go. Tesla is still very, very weak. Same thing, same kind of weakness that we continue to see. Yesterday, we tried to break the 241.50, and we rejected it once again. So you can see here on the 4-hour chart, you can see we have a previous low, and we have turned into a rejection like 4 times now. Previous support, into a rejection, into a rejection, into a rejection, and into a rejection. So very clear. Now, what is this creating? In my opinion, this could very well be creating some type of bear flag, right? This could very well be creating a bear flag on Tesla, on the hourly chart, on the 4-hour. It's on every time frame you look at. That is definitely what I'm starting to see here. I don't know if that works out. Obviously, there's macroeconomic data which could invalidate technical analysis, but that is definitely sort of what I see here. So I see a flat top with a major rejection point and an increasing trend line on the bottom, which is the definition of a bear flag. So if you reject that 241.50 again, do you break this uptrend? Right? That is something I would definitely be watching. 241.50, there is absolutely not a reason in the world to buy a call option on Tesla until it is above 241.50, in my opinion, unless you are scalping it short term, right? If you are scalping, then there's opportunity on short-term break and retest, short-term 9 EMA holds. If you are trying to swing trade Tesla, if you're, trying to catch Tesla early, I would recommend to wait until, if this is something that you want to buy and hold, I would recommend just waiting till you get the break and hold of this. If you can get a break and hold of this, then I think there's opportunity there at 241.50, right? And then you can play that upside after that key level break. Then you can maybe have a swing trade here back towards those highs. But for short-term scalps, I would, just be cautious. Look to see if there's any intraday patterns that you like. For longer-term swings, I would really want to see it back above 241.50. And get that rejection level out of there. Because right now, it is very clear that it is rejecting 241.50. I would want to see it above. Okay, so watch out for that level today. And maybe there's even another rejection play to have today. All right, that's Tesla. Watch out for that 241.50 level and that uptrend. AMD. So AMD guided down, which is not good, right, for AMD. You guys can see you have a big top at 69. This was the rejection level, right? So if you just played a put off 69, you are looking pretty nice this morning, right? So nice downside on AMD, nice 69 rejection. We've been talking about that rejection point. Very nice downside move. If we go to the 15-minute chart, I think this is probably where I want to look at it with you guys today. Look at some of these shorter term levels because I think they're important. So here are the important levels for me today on AMD. This is the 15-minute chart. So the first level that I'm watching here is 6450. Why 6450? This is the previous low from Wednesday, and you can see in the pre-market today, we are starting to turn it into a rejection point. So if AMD cannot get back over 6450, right, if you turn this into a rejection, I think there's more downside. So I would watch 6450 today. If you get above 6450, you have this previous high here that I'm watching at 66. You guys can see 66, a little bit of consolidation there, and a rejection yesterday. Look at this, or in the pre-market or after hours yesterday. You see this little 66 rejection that came in. So I am definitely watching 66 on AMD as well. That is another level that I'm watching today. If you can get back above 66, then you probably have some free room. But I would be surprised to see AMD over 66 today. So 66, 6450, and then on the downside, you have the double bottom low at 63. All right, here's your 63 double bottom low. Bottom low, right, double bottom, 1, 2. If you turn this into a little bear flag right here, right, this could be a very nice trade. 6450 rejection, bear flag, break it down off the bear flag, back into 63, the double bottom low. That looks like a potential trade setup today, so I'd watch that. Let me remind you of the weekly chart on AMD, because I think this is very important. I just want to remind everyone that there is no support on AMD, true support on the weekly chart, until 58. I just want to remind everyone of that. Right around this 58, 59 level, if we go, I know it's a little hard to see with those lines, but if you look at this chart, you can see this was vertical over 58, 59, and we have no support here, right, until 58, 59. So if there is weakness on AMD, I think there could be weakness towards 58, 59 area down here, where this weekly sort of consolidation was back in 2020. All right. So watch out for that. I would look for a 6450 rejection today. That would be very nice. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is, in my opinion, the best risk to reward to the upside if there's market strength today. That's a loaded sentence. There has to be market strength, right? If there's market strength today, if we see upside on the market because of the economic data or just, overall market strength intraday, I think NVIDIA provides you very good risk to reward to the upside. That doesn't mean I won't play it to the downside if it moves lower, but I think the risk to reward is pretty high on the upside. Here, let me tell you why. Right? You have a previous rejection points, and you had a support come in here at 127. Now you can see we are back at that 127. If NVIDIA holds this 127, then I think there is opportunity for this to move higher. Can NVIDIA shed off some of that downside it saw because of AMD last night, right? Do we think that this is an opportunity? NVIDIA moving lower off of AMD news into demand. Do we think that there is a potential long entry here off of this 127 again? Right, you can see right here, previous support, rejection, support. Does this turn into support again? Right, if it does, then I like there to be move even back to yesterday's close. Right, your yesterday's close is up here around 131. So there could be an opportunity there. I'm not going to shy away from that. Just because it moved down off AMD, I want to make sure I'm understanding of the fact that it is at a pretty major potential demand area. If this previous channel high turns into support, which it has already right here, we can see the support bounce that happened. Does that happen again? And if it does, I want to try to play that to the upside. Now, if it breaks 127, right, same thing sort of goes. If it breaks 127, then you probably have some nice downside here back into this channel. So, in my opinion, just watch 127, see how it reacts off that level today. If it shows some nice holds, if it showed some wicks intraday, if it gets pushed back up every time it touches that level, look to see if it tries to bounce off of it. I would not be afraid to look for that today. I know it's a little bit contrarian with the move down because of AMD, but if NVIDIA can sort of shake that off, if there's market upside, it could be something to watch. All right, let's let's just go to the NASDAQ real quick. Let's get ready for the jobs data, and then we'll continue to look at stuff after. Here's the NASDAQ. Actually, you know what? Let's go ES, because the ES is making more sense today. Here's the ES. Let's keep this up. All right, we can see there's your double bottom. Let's go ahead and pull up the bot for us to look at the economic data. Mr. Walter Bloomberg, Delta 1. And then we will prepare for that. So we got that in about 30 seconds. If you guys want to take these 30 seconds to just press the like button, we got 200 likes on the stream and 1,500 people. What a ratio that is. All right, let's zoom in here. And let's wait. Jay Price, you're talking in options chat right now, my friend. Shoot that over in after hours. All right. All right, little pop there. A little downside there. My TOS lagging. Oh. All right. 37.35. Breaking. Yep. A little bit of downside there. We're down under 37.35. My bad. Hey. All right. So non-farm payrolls plus 263, consensus 275. So it actually is lower. So that's consistent. It's consistent with what we've seen recently. Right? It's consistent with what we've seen recently with the lower than expected payrolls, right? So we'll see. I mean, market right now moving lower off of that. Not much. I mean, be careful, guys. You can see, look at the reactions here. It's still trying. There's a little bit of a battle going on. You got to read this price. You can see the battle that's occurring here at 37.35 still. Right, look at this candle. You see how it's getting pushed up? So until that candle closes at the lows, right, you got to watch these candles, see how they... Right now, you're seeing that bottom wick. It's getting pushed up, right? Buyers are stepping in down here at 37.35. So you got to wait to see if this actually breaks and holds below it. So this is where you have to give a little bit of patience to see if it does this, right? If you move lower, if you bounce a little bit and then you start to see this, then I'd say yeah, this is going to creep lower. Let me see what the 1 minute chart looks like, cuz we can probably get a better look at that on the 1 minute. Okay, so that's on the 1 minute definitely showing a little bit more weakness. You see, this is why I like to watch the 1 minute, cuz you can see a little bit more detail, right? So downside, there's your rejection off 37.35. Can't talk. So yeah, a little bit more weakness. So all right. So now we have a new game plan, right? Now we have the new game. Now with that information today that we're below this key level, now we have a little bit more data to work off of. So now what are we looking for? Right? Now we are looking for the market to stay below. Right? Now, if the market stays below and it starts to reject this level today, then we have some nice opportunities to the downside. If it can stay below 37.35, right? If we can see a very clean rejection of 37.35 today on the ES, then I would look for that. Look, it's already in. It's battling. It's a battle. This is a big battle zone. Just think about this as a lot of orders just coming in, right, in this general area. So we'll have to see what happens here. If this turns into a rejection right now, then I would say downside coming in. If that level turns into a rejection, look at what the Dow or the Nasdaq did. So where is the Nasdaq bouncing off of? All right, look at the level. Nasdaq is bouncing off the exact 11,350 level. So would I say all in shorts? Still no. I know this reaction is to the downside, guys, and I know maybe your emotions are getting to you, but you can see this level is not to be messed with right now. So just watch out for this level, right? 11,350 on the NASDAQ and 37.35 on the ES, right? I don't know if it's going to hold, right? I'm not saying that it's going to hold. I'm just trying to make people aware that you cannot short into these demand levels just because a major downside reactionary move, okay? So just watch out for that level. 37.35 or 11,350, 37.35. Those are the levels to watch today. All right, we'll continue. Let's see what Tesla did off that. Tesla, if the downside comes in, watch Tesla. Watch Tesla to the downside off 241.50. What did Nvidia do? Nvidia broke the 127, so watch for that to turn into a rejection now. And AMD, oof, right off that. Okay, look at this on AMD. So AMD, there's your very clear rejection point now. Right? AMD 64.50. Very clear rejection point now. You can see previous demand, previous little bounce into a rejection, into a rejection, into a rejection. So 64.50 is your new level there. All right? And here's your low, your 2022 low. All right, let's continue. So what were we on next? Let's just go ahead and break down let's look at some tech names here and see what they just did to that move. So here's Apple. Apple moved into that gap fill again, 143, but is finding support once again. So for me, Apple 144 is a key level here today. If I go to the 5-minute chart and I zoom out, I think 144 is a key. So I would watch 144, 144.20s. Keep an eye on that level today. See if that turns into a rejection, right? If we go to Microsoft, we talked about that 250 rejection on the live stream yesterday. Go to the let's go to the 4-hour chart. You guys can see we had a previous support hold here at 250, right? Previous support at 250. Look at the rejection that's coming in here. So I still think that the Microsoft 250 rejection is a potential play. We'll have to see if the market starts to slip, but we can definitely see here. Look at the rejections that are coming in at 250. So you pushed in, rejected, pushed in, rejected, pushed in, rejected. So I would just look to see if Microsoft can maybe lose this 244 level. If it loses this 244, then you have broken this little channel, and you probably can see some continuation to the downside. So 244 on Microsoft, 250 rejection point. I'd watch that. End phase, yeah. We're going to look at end phase in a second. Let's just go ahead and do it now. So end phase, right? What were we talking about on the live stream yesterday? We said don't be bullish on end phase. It flushed a key level, right? End phase flushed this very major level here at 270. Big time flush to the downside. And you're getting that rejection. Sorry about these lines on the screen, guys. These are the SMAs. I guess I'll keep them on there for now. But here's your support, your support, your support, your support. 270 channel low. Big time flush. What happens when we get the big time flush? We look for the retest. Yesterday, we got the retest. Look at the retest early morning. Got the retest right there on a big push. That's perfect. That's textbook, right? If you can get the retest on a big candle, I love that because I know that's not strong, right? I know a big candle is not legitimate like that. So I know, I was pretty confident in the short side on end phase yesterday after seeing how quickly that popped into 270, right? If you understand the market, right? If you really understand what things hold up in the market, a big push to the upside should be the inverse. You should think of it as the inverse of what a human emotion would tell you, right? A newer trader, right? Just think about, and there's nothing wrong with this, right? Don't think that I'm saying anything wrong with newer traders because we were all new traders and we all know the mistakes that we made and we all know the feelings that you get. A new trader, if I brought someone into this office that's never looked at the stock before, if they saw this candle in end phase, they would say buy, right? They would be excited. They would say, holy shit, buy that. It's going straight up. If you've been around the market, right, and if you've been around the block, you know that that kind of candle does not hold up. So after learning, after being experienced, after losing your ass on chasing upside, you know that you should not be buying that. Now, that only is taught by you losing money and you learning that this is not the area to be buying upside, especially not into a previous rejection or previous support level. So this is sort of that, that where that experience comes in, knowing that, okay, we got a huge push into a previous support. That's my rejection level. This is actually ideal for my short, right? This is exactly what I wanted. This gives me good risk to reward now. So that was very nice on Enphase yesterday. Let's look at the 30-minute here. If you can break yesterday's low or Wednesday's lows on Enphase, right, I would look for more downside. I would look for the break and retest of Wednesday's lows around 248, and I would look for more downside. Here's the daily chart. There is absolutely nothing here on Enphase. You tell me if you think Enphase is going to find support in this area. I just don't see it. You have a huge gap here, right? You have a candle in the middle of an island. You have an island candle here, which I don't even think is a term, but it's an island because you have no price action above it and you have no price action below it. It is literally a candle on its own island. So I just don't see how Enphase can hold up in this type of market gap. So I would definitely be looking for more here and watch for more downside. All right, let's go Costco. I really like Costco to the downside today. If you guys are in the Discord chat, you know this. 4-hour chart. You can see I am thinking that this is a pretty nasty bear flag. That's sort of what my analysis is telling me. I see a previous rejection support level, a previous rejection level here, a 490 zone that I've been eyeing. You can see we came back into it. We rejected. We came back into it. We rejected yesterday again. We have a 20 SMA rejection above as well. And we have, in my opinion, a very nice bear flag setting up. So we have a bounce back into a retest. We have a double top at 490. We have a 20 SMA rejection that came in pretty nasty yesterday. We have potential downside on the market, which could be the cherry on top. And on top of all of that, if we go to the XLP, which is the consumer staples sector, lost once again a really major demand level. So here's your demand on the XLP. I'm going to take off these EMAs or SMAs because they're just annoying now. Demand. Look at what XLP did yesterday at this level, right? It lost it once again. So, yeah, I'm definitely watching Costco to the downside. If there's continuation here, I like that bear flag setup. I will be definitely eyeing this today. All right, so watch that. All right, let's go over some we didn't do Amazon. Let's go over Amazon. So Amazon on the hourly chart, I actually have some alerts set. Why don't I talk about the numbers that came out? I already talked about them, Junior. We already looked at them. We talk about. Here's my biggest thing. Watch how the market reacts. Focus on the technicals of the market. Who cares what the numbers is? You might think it's good. Maybe maybe your buddy's telling you, oh, this number is bullish, right? Or maybe CNBC is saying, oh, number's bullish. It looks good, and the market's going down. Why care, right, what I say about numbers? Who cares what I say about a number, right? You should not care, and I don't care about what anyone says about an appointment number on the internet because no one knows what is right and what's wrong. No one. Not Josh Brown on CNBC, who I like, not Melissa Lee. No one knows what number is good and what number is bad, right? All that matters is what the market is doing in reaction to the numbers. That's what matters. That's how you make your money. How is the market reacting to the numbers? Not how does Vincent think about the numbers, right? What is he saying about it? In my opinion, it's bad. Why do I think it's bad? Because the market's going down, right? That's all that I care about. Now, will I play puts because it's going down? No, not yet, because it's still holding 350, right? That's my technical analysis. Now, the ES is showing me a little bit of a different story. The ES is holding below 37.35. That to me is bearish, right? That to me is bearish. If you hold below 37.35 today, then yes, I think that's bearish. Look for the downside under 37.35. That I agree with. All right. What was I on? What was I doing? I was doing Amazon. All right, Amazon. So you guys can see Amazon's at the channel low, right? Support and support. So 118, you can see that channel low at 118. So watch that. If Amazon loses the channel low today, right, then I would look for the downside under that. If it holds the channel low, you guys know the story. But yeah, if the ES is under 37.35 today, which it is right now, then I would definitely be looking for a continuation to the downside, without a doubt, right? Why do I say that? Because look at this, guys. You just made a new lower low. So that is not bullish. So, all right, if we zoom into this chart, look what the ES is doing. So you made a lower low, lower high, right? Yesterday, lower high. Today, lower low. That is now moving lower. So if you do see a bounce today, maybe look for that rejection, 37.35. All right. All right, let's go over the sector analysis, which is XLP. We already did. We'll go over XLE. XLE, we'll go to the 4-hour chart. So the XLE is just coming into a major rejection point. Upside risk to reward's not there anymore, guys, right? It's over. You got to accept it. If you didn't catch it off the demand, right, you missed the upside. This is where actually paying attention to risk to reward helps you not lose money. This is where you buy. This is where you buy. This is where you buy. And this is where you buy. When everyone thinks the level's going to flush, when everyone's panicking, you buy off the level, off the demand level. Usually, if you look at the past, it bounces off that. Here is where you sell, right? Here's where you sell, right? Here's where you sell. You sell it, sell at those peaks where it's rejected before. Okay? So upside risk to reward is definitely not there on oil. I think the trade's over if you're long. Maybe you get lucky and it breaks out, right? That would be a lucky type of trade if you actually get that breakout. Great. Maybe you hold a runner. Maybe you take 50% off, 75% off. You hold a runner to look to see if it breaks. But do you enter new longs here? I don't see that. XLV, not really doing much. And then finally the XL, which one did I miss? XLF. So XLF just rejected this previous low, which is not bullish at all. You can see previous low, push, rejection. This is a break and retest. Break, retest, and it is now rejecting, right? So I would not be bullish on XLF until it breaks that 3250. All right, guys. I gotta let me see. Let me see if I can get in a few of your guys' tickers here. Let me pull up the Discord, go to the chart, and then go to live stream ticker. Go ahead and pop that up real quick. See if you guys got anything good in there, and then we'll jump out of here. I'll go over Netflix. I saw someone ask for Netflix. Holy crap! We're gonna have to go speed round. You guys got it blowing up today. All right. We're going speed round. Get ready. We got 5 minutes. Google. Google has to hold 100. If it loses 100, you're moving lower. If you lose 100, you're moving lower. Google has to hold 100. CVX. Short. I would look for the short. All right? Unless the oil sector continues. But this is where you sell CVX. This is where you buy CVX. This is where you sell CVX. Watch out for that rejection up there at 164.75. J Price, don't worry about it, man. I'm just messing. J Price, thank you, man. As always, thank you so much. Snow, 190. So you got this demand hold here, right? This is your long entry off 190 demand. Look at where you're rejecting, right at this previous high right here at 190. So you have your 170 demand here that you bounced off of, 190 rejection. Watch out for that 190 rejection today. FSLR, maybe it catches up to end phase, so watch out for this channel break. It's a little bit choppy here, but watch 130 and 123, all right, FSLR. But see if it probably can catch up to end phase, so be careful of that. Walmart's doing nothing. I don't even think you look at it. It's chopping around into oblivion. I don't like anything about Walmart today or now. Meta, is stuck in a channel now. You guys can see here, Meta has created a new channel. Watch for the channel break to either side, 142 to 135. Roblox. I would look away from Roblox. It's probably not going to do anything. You are having a little break and retest of this 33. You did have a little bit of upside on the Russell recently, and that's probably what brought Roblox higher because of that Russell strength. Does that Russell strength stay in? That's a big question that I can't answer. Shopify back under 30. I would look for 30 rejections now. Shopify trade just didn't really set up. 30 level broke. Disney, 4-hour charts. You have a gap that may need to fill on Disney. All right, you have a gap down to around 97. So watch out for that, 98.50. We did end phase. All right, guys. That's all I got. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let's quickly go over the NASDAQ and ES levels once again before we get out. 11,350. That's your level to watch today. All right, you're starting to break it. So if you stay under 11,350 on NQ, downside. If you bounce off of it, upside. And then this is a big break on the ES, guys. This is a big break on the ES. So this is definitely looking juicy to the downside, right? If you can see a fake bounce today into 37.35, if you can get the rejection come in there, that is a fantastic short entry. All right, I would watch that. But a big break, guys, so understand that. A big breakdown on the ES under that key level, lower low, nothing quite bullish about that today. All right? That's all I got for you. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for being here. Press the like button before you head out if you enjoyed the live stream, if you found some value from it. On Monday, the giveaway will open, so be excited for that. I'm also giving away some equipment to people in need because of Hurricane Ian from MSI, so shout out to you, MSI, for sponsoring the stream and sponsoring giving back to some of the people here in Southwest Florida. I'm assuming a lot of people lost a lot of computer equipment, so that's going to be my contribution to give back. I'm going to add some stuff on top of that and, do stuff myself on top of what MSI has provided. So thank you, MSI. If you guys want to get some MSI products, we have a discount code down below in the description. Make sure to check that out. Some nice 10% off coupons, fun coupons. And have a fantastic weekend, guys. Thank you once again for all the support. I hope to see you guys next week. Go Giants. Go Max. Go Mets. Mets are tonight. Go Mets. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.